To all the other races of women out there, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for finessing black men out their money. I really do appreciate it. It's better than TV.
An undeniable part of the ADOS blackmail experience is dealing with open disrespect. It could come from members inside your own group who say that the penalty for you not dating someone in the black community is that I hope that she fleeces you for all your money. A blatant disrespect to the autonomy of men saying I date who I want to because it's my choice. It could happen going to the supermarket, anytime you're going shopping, getting pulled over by the police, and even on television, as one of the most popular Super Bowl ads was a young boy simply disrespecting a grown black man.
Hi.
Hello.
Aw, thank you. Have a seat. Kyle, Jalen. Jalen, Kyle.
Jalen, you play nice.
I'll be right back.
What's going on, little man? I see you got your game skills down, Pack. You might have your hands full once. I'll pick up the controller, man.
Put it back. Keep your hands on my mama. Keep your hands on my Doritos.
You know, they'll even go over to y'all to talk bad about black women and use that as a reason to date out. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all be finessing them for their money. Sometimes they you know, end up in a situation like Telvin Osborne. Sometimes they end up in a situation like Shannon Sharp, where they'll try to say a black woman can't get nothing out of them, but then yet they will retire a whole 22-year-old YT woman. And I just think that that's funny. So please, to all the other races of women, keep finessing these dudes, man. Keep finessing these dudes. Y'all are literally black women's karma. You know what I'm saying? Since they want to talk bad about black women and then they go to y'all and then y'all take them for everything, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Let these BLK men be the saving grace to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all using black men as reparations, and I honestly think it's so beautiful.
This kind of TikTok is what greets many ADOS average or geeky black men who weren't the it guys back in school. And of course, those guys know they have to level up financially in order to come back with a leg up in the dating pool, but then come back to be greeted by young ladies saying, maybe I didn't require the guys before to take me on full proper dates, but now if you're going to date me, a coffee date to get to know me is unacceptable. And for guys looking at that dating pool and saying, well, I'm going to go somewhere else and see if I get better results, to only be told by this gentleman that, well, if you're going to go over there, I hope they fleece you for everything that they can get you for. That's what greets the average or the non-it ADOS black men in the modern dating pool. That kind of disrespect is just par for the course. If you ask me personally, what do you think is the biggest difference between dating in, say, the 90s and now, is that in the 90s, there was a facade, at least, that many young ladies simply could not be bought. But that facade simply doesn't exist anymore. So when many young ladies say that I need more than a coffee date, well, guys imagine the worst case scenario. That, well...
What's the worst thing you did for money?
So, I led on and slept with a 57-year-old man for $1,600, a week or two ago.
Just like a one-time thing and you got $1,600?
No, it was supposed to be consistent. That's why I'm mad.
What drove you to do this?
$1,600.
That's your father or your grandfather?
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, your boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The point that many young ladies of the modern assortment miss about this brouhaha over coffee dates is, well, two reasons. One, guys want to make sure that they're dealing with someone of character, someone that has something to lose, so that they want to make sure that they're associating themselves with someone that's simply not going to take them down. But the other part of it is, simply put, guys don't have to reveal how much money they have on a coffee date. It's a very simple date, and it's a check to make sure that if she's buyable, then you can decide if you want to buy her. But if she's not buyable, then you could say, you know what, this coffee date's been really cool. Let's go do something else after we finish our cup of coffee. But of course, many young ladies don't understand that that kind of craftiness is bred in us from youth. How many of you guys have eaten a cinnamon butter sugar piece of toast? Or cinnamon sugar toast, I should call it. If you had your summers alone as a latchkey kid watching Nickelodeon, I can guarantee you made this once or twice. What about peanut butter and syrup sandwiches? One of my personal favorites. All of these, of course, dealing with that loaf of bread that had about 20, 25 slices. So you had to be creative. And there's nothing better than a hot dog on a piece of Wonder Bread. And if you're lucky, you had a piece of cheese. Mwah. But this all comes from the fact that many of us come from a place where we had to be creative because in the beginning, well, we just didn't have it.
I'm so broke, if a n*** rob me, he'll just be practicing.
From my point of view, the unique advantage that black male ADOS Passport Bro travelers have is that most of us did not grow up with trust fund money or grow up with, silver spoons in our mouths. We grew up, if not at average income, many of us maybe below average income. And so we had to be creative during the summer, making various kinds of sandwiches with Wonder Bread, or we had to be creative with how we tried to romance young ladies when we were in high school or college when we didn't have any money. But Passport Bros are now getting their money together. And so now you could use your money up front as a way of leading, or you could use the creativity that you had to develop when you didn't have the money, or you could do a mixture of both. And from my point of view, that's where a lot of the shaming comes in, especially when guys are trying to impress young ladies in the community, because simply put, they tell guys to lead with money. And if you can't lead with money, you shouldn't even bother dating in the first place.
I don't think no girl should feel bad for not wanting to be with a that ain't getting no money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just didn't want to make someone feel weird.
No, it's like, I don't know why people try to make that bad. If you f***ed up, if your pocket's f***ed up, you should be with a girl anyway. Like,
no facts. Like,
you ain't getting no money.
On a date,
being with girls and being around girls is supposed to be expensive. It's like, as a man, you're supposed to be able to pay for that shit. I wouldn't feel comfortable letting a girl pay for all my shit, personally.
On the surface, you might think that DDG needs to sign up for Simps Anonymous, that he's essentially telling guys that you got to pay to participate. But then we have to remember that he's a very savvy businessman, and essentially what he's doing here is telling this show full of young ladies that want to get to him and his money exactly what they want to hear. A guy shouldn't even bother dating you unless he basically pays for you up front. But that goes right back to where we started in this video, that if you're a black man and you want to date, the only value you bring into the equation is the money in your pocket. But if you don't have any money in your pocket, you should not come into the game until you have money in your pocket. But the internet is brilliant, and it is a wonderful resource because we are about 20 or 30 years removed from the idea that black men simply need to show up and empty their wallets. And now you're having guys who have been through the ringer telling you how to play the game for real.
What is a good amount of money to spend on a first date? A lot of girls feel like I got to spend a minimum $300 to be with them. I'm like,
300 what?
$300.
American dollars?
Dollars.
Please. On who? On the first date?
Yo, Chad.
For what?
You're considered a high value man. So ladies, this is for this. You got money?
I think high value is based on stream of income, revenue, but I am extremely cheap and financially conscious, so I don't consider myself a high value man.
And you have a lot of money.
Yes. Yes, and I'm going to save it, which is why a $300 date ain't never happening. Because what am I paying for actually? If I'm at wit's end and I need help and I'm with you and you need a $300 date, can she save me? Can she help me? Is she an asset or is she a liability? Because anybody need a $300 date off rip is nothing but a liability. I mean, it is. Let's call a spade a spade.
I'm with you.
The women that want $300 dates, there are men out there that are going to continue to take them on them. That's why the women can always say, I'm not doing nothing but $300 a date. Because there are men that will spend $300 to reach their end goal. We know the end goal is.
It would behoove me if I didn't take a couple of seconds and plug the Black Manosphere Conclave, which is happening this weekend in Miami. You can still buy tickets on the website, which I will put the link in the description of this video, and you could attend virtually as well. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but if you can't go there in person, you can still witness all of it, and you can still get into Theo Waff's class, which is going to be dynamic the next year or so. So I highly recommend that. Unfortunately for me, a couple thousand miles and an extremely busy schedule are keeping me from attending the conclave in person. Of course, I'm able to continue in Theo Waff's class, so I'm happy. But that said, there's one particular breakout room that I would love to go to if I were able to attend in person, and it is this gentleman right here. He goes by the name of Jewels of Tech, and he does a variety of videos for Google Cloud Provider, AWS, etc., which basically get you up to speed in a review kind of way for the kinds of tests that are going to help you move into that particular career field. But he's going to give you the kind of sound financial advice that you're going to get from a Chad Ochocinco or from the NBA player that we're about to hear from. And the fact that we are now in an era where you can have your finances already set and still play broke is one of the most beautiful flexes that we as Passport Bros could ever have in the dating scene.
Is that what you would tell young guys coming in nowadays, the salary? Because Jim said the same thing almost. A whole bunch of players say, bank the money that you're getting from paychecks, the league paychecks, and only spend the endorsement money.
Well, I had a fear and a paranoia that I was going to go broke. Like, I always just feared, like, everybody goes broke, so I was just like, I'm not going to spend money. I bought like a $6,000 chain, like a big cross, but that was really it. I was afraid. Yeah. I went to school for 4 years. I learned about finances and balancing a checkbook, and I was like, I have everything that I need and most of what I've ever wanted. I'll go on vacation. My now wife, girlfriend at the time, we went to Hawaii or something like that, and I spent like less than $10,000, and that's first class flights, that's food, that's hotel. I was using points from my card to like pay for stuff. This trip here, I used points.
To come to New York, you use points
for the trip and for the stay, and they gave me $450 in food and beverage for my trip.
Wow.
So it's like I utilize the resources
frugal.
around me. I get nice things.
Yeah.
I buy nice things that I need, and then I take advantage of everything else. But I would give a different level of advice now because these kids are millionaires already, like 16, 17 getting NIL. So you need the right type of financial advisor. You need the right types of resources to kind of help you save. You need to project, like, okay, this is my income now. The budget that we have in place now for my family and I is the same budget that I had when I signed my first extension in 2016. We pretended that I was never going to make another dollar for the rest of my life. And then I signed another extension, and then I signed another extension. And we've just pretended as if none of this money was ever going to come, and we're living as if that first extension is all we have left. And I think it's just understanding your purpose, your why. What do you want to leave behind legacy-wise? And then buy things because you should.
Yeah.
Take advantage of this life because you can't take it with you. So do nice things, go on trips, take care of your family, but be reasonable with your expectations as to how long this is going to last because the money doesn't last forever.
If you don't know this gentleman, this is CJ McCollum, a smooth as silk shooting guard that in 13 seasons in the NBA has averaged 19.6 points per game. Playing alongside Damian Lillard, he has done more than what was expected of him when he was a young guy at Lehigh, of all places, when they shocked Duke as a 15 seed and he dropped 30 on him. I love when Duke loses. But this is the other side of the conversation we don't hear when we talk about dating. He talks about how he was frugal with his wife at the time, and he built up his financial resources and his financial empire to the point where he wasn't tricking. He wasn't participating in Simps Anonymous. He was dating smart. And it got him exactly where he wanted to be. It's important for guys, especially for the younger guys, to be cognizant of the fact that there's an entire cottage industry built around the idea that the quote-unquote undesirable black men should have to pay a fee to just simply get attention. But just remember all of this for what it actually is. Jedi Mind. For guys of my generation that have had our eyes open, we've seen the game unfold to where the same young ladies that are saying that they will not settle for coffee dates are lining up to pay $2,000 to Chris Brown to take a picture with him. And in their phone, they have a variety of men that are fulfilling different purposes. Some guys come over at 3 a.m. and help her feel better. And other guys take her on dates hoping that they could be the guy who goes over for nothing and makes her feel better. These are the same young ladies telling regular guys, you can't pay for a coffee date. You got to pay me like I'm a princess. And guys that are wise with their money like CJ McCollum are telling you, you don't have to play that game. As a matter of fact, if you find a decent young lady, you can do all the things that you're doing normally on the cheap. And if she likes you, then she'll understand why you're being cheap. And even if she's not the kind of woman that you're going to marry, you can still use your ingenuity, your creativity to have exciting, fun, cheap dates and test the young ladies that you're dating home or abroad. And then will you choose to create a situation with your money to be a bit more romantic or splurge, if you will, you could then use that moment when you are on the yacht or in that special place that's extra romantic and use your creativity to be yourself instead of trying to purchase her liking you. Simps Anonymous is simply reformed for guys who think that their personality alone is not enough to entertain a woman. Does money help? Sure it does. But there's not a woman on this planet that you could buy her loyalty from. Simps Anonymous have to understand she's going to like the positions that your money puts the both of you in. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't like you, she shouldn't even be there in the first place. The beauty of the coffee date is that you can use that to test her to see which one is which. Beautiful, isn't it? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.